freedom is taking on a whole new meaning, incorrectly and dangerously so. And I might say, and I know I'm gonna make some people mad by saying this, but this very broad definition of freedom that is used to, for example, justify gay marriage is being advanced not just by radical leftists, but by libertarians as well. And even some conservatives. But the reason the whole issue of freedom is working against, Ron Paul said something, and I've mentioned this before, his so-called farewell address to Congress when he left. Last speech for leaving the House of Representatives. He said he couldn't believe how difficult it was, or is, to sell freedom to people. Now, he meant freedom from government, self-reliance, responsibility, taking control of your own life and making the most of it, is a concept. The Republican National Convention was, my gosh, that was, from the standpoint of timely and timeless American tradition, it was perfect. One story after another of how up from nothing success occurred. Hard work. People smirk now when you tell them that kind of a story. Yeah, I worked hard. You can see it too. You can watch people react to a politician on TV or anybody who talks about, yeah, I came from nothing. I worked really hard. My parents raised me right. I remember doing 2 or 3 jobs, putting my way through school, and people smirk at it now. And what's happened is that the Democrats, the left, have successfully convinced people that they are the party of freedom. They are the party of liberation. That they free people from constraints or bondage or what have you. For the longest time, I noted, and I always laughed at it, and as usual, I should have taken it more seriously than I did. I remember when Bill Clinton was elected, the celebration that takes place a week before the inauguration, all these liberals show up, and they have parties in Washington, on the Mall. And every day, people like Aretha Franklin would get up and sing songs about we shall overcome, we have overcome, like they just got out of jail, like they were just freed from tyranny. And I sat there and laughed. I said, what kind of loco weeds are these people? At the time, I didn't have the maturity or the experience, probably a better thing to say, to understand what was really going on. These people really do believe that those of us who are not liberals want to constrain them from having a good time. We want to punish them if they have a good time. We want to deny them fun. We are rock rigid, and then after that, we are judgmental. And why is that? Well, because they view us as people with a moral code, and they don't want a moral code. A moral code itself is punishing. A moral code has lines beyond which you're not supposed to go, and that's not fun. And the people in charge of that are a bunch of old-fashioned, dry-ball fuddy-duddies who go to church every Sunday and have sex once a year and then think they're committing sin. And we don't want to have those people running our lives. And the Democrat Party comes along and agrees with them and says, yeah, well, we're here to liberate you. We are the party that will free you. When in fact, it's at the end of the day, it's just the exact opposite. But that's why the Democrat Party is looking constantly for new groups that they can cast as victims. Groups that need protection from us. need protection from the Christian right, need protection from conservatives like Sarah Palin and me and whoever else you care to name. Gays and blacks are oppressed. I mean, that's the message in 2013 America. There are large groups of Americans still under the yoke of oppression. They are made to believe that. They go through their day believing that they're oppressed. When a Democrat wins an election, that's when they think they're set free. It's the most amazing thing. Women, war on women, what do you think that really was? In addition to being a vote-getting scheme, it was a continuation of this notion that women are oppressed. And the Democrats will free them. You want contraception every day paid for by somebody else so you can make love as often as you want? Here it is. We're going to make it possible for you. And we're not going to judge you. We love you more than anybody in the world. Go ahead, do whatever you want to do. We're the party of freedom. Anybody that they can claim is discriminating or being discriminated against must be protected by the government. So there's the primary need for government to protect people from the oppressive right wing. The left has to have some group to champion. So gay marriage, gay rights is the new cause célèbre of the day. And at the same time, the left needs a group to champion. They need a group to demonize. And the group to demonize, of course, the people who are opposed to gay marriage. And to give young people the sense of being part of some recreation of the Civil Rights Act, to give young people the illusory idea that they are part of some big movement that is championing freedom and love and all of these wonderful, just horizon expanding things that the Republican Party doesn't want you to do. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to have any fun over there, no fun over here. And we, the Democrats, are here to liberate you. That's why Obama had to make a big deal out of pretending he was at Selma when he couldn't find it on a map before that day. He had to pretend he was part of it. Civil rights movement. But if you notice, blacks have never been liberated, have they? The really, truly liberated blacks are conservative Republican blacks, and look what happens to them, and look what's said about them. The left portrays these people or themselves as the great liberators of everybody, the champions of freedom, when in reality, that's who we are.